Should I start?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Hello, I'm Melissa. My favorite restaurant is Limoncello.
Hi, my name is Anna. My favorite restaurant is Sedona Tap House. I like to eat at the restaurant Penn's Table.
I enjoy their pasta and pizza.
My favorite food is there. Pasta Primavera. I like breakfast.
I enjoy their outdoor seating too.
I love the inside decor. I like to doctor drink. C coffee.
Do
Okay.
I paused the video, but wait, hold on.
do you like outdoor seating too?
Yes, I do.
I guess I'll start. Are we going into the discussion now?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I think using cough drop to only to like communicate is difficult because like obviously we don't use it every day and like this isn't something that we normally do. And it's like it is pretty hard to get like the hang of it and like I don't know, I feel like finding some of the words can be difficult.
I agree. I feel like it's definitely like a learning curve for some people who use it every day. It might be a lot easier like learning how to text like you are familiar with where the letters are, and some students may, if they're using it every day to communicate, they might have an easier time finding the words, and they might like be able to create their own home board where like they have the words that they use the most often. So,
Yeah, like Cecily in her video said that she's been using it since she was 3, so it was
mhm.
really easy for her to navigate. But when I first got on it, I had a really hard time figuring out where all the words are. I also like tried out the level 10 board and I was like, whoa, this is a lot of words and like to find everything. So I had to make my own board for this conversation.
Yeah, I think another thing is like the way that it like says words sometimes can just like it seems like it's screaming at you.
Right. And
Yeah.
there's no tone or expression.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like difficult for them to really like portray
Yeah.
how they feel.
Right.
Also, like for like we were talking about restaurants, so there was like obviously not any buttons for like things like that, so you have to like make your own
Yeah.
button. Um, I think like as someone who like will be teaching students who use this tool, it's important to like be familiar with it as
Yeah.
like especially if you're working with younger children, you'll have to model like how to use it in the classroom. And if you're familiar with it, it just makes it that much easier for the student to learn how to use it.
Yeah. But going off of that, I think a challenge that I faced was just like finding where everything was.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
I mean, we kind of said it, but it's just like really difficult, especially when you don't like know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that too. And I think like being familiar with it will also help us understand how they're communicating and we can help them communicate. And it's also you definitely have to be patient with it, like give them time to process, give them time to communicate because in the video for Cecily, it took her like 5 minutes to form one answer, and I was like, wow, because it's easy for
Yeah.
her to navigate. I couldn't imagine like me trying, that would take me a million years.
Yeah, especially if you're like asked a question about a topic that you don't know much about or like
Yeah,
something that you're not familiar with, like it's gonna take the students like longer to give you an answer than it
right.
already is. And you just have to like have patience with them.
I agree.
Yeah.
Mm, I guess something that I learned was just like you like we already said, like you really just have to work with the student and their device and like figure out because in the classroom that I'm in, all the students have an AAC and like all of them have like a different program that they use and they're all
Mhm.
different. So it's like what works for one student isn't necessarily going to work for another one.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
it's also, oh, sorry, go ahead, Maeve.
No, no, you're good.
I think it's also important to understand the disability that they have and why they're using it because I keep going back to Cecily because it is a great example. Like, she was only physically affected, but mentally, she wasn't affected at all. And so, like, it wasn't it had nothing to do with her intelligence, but people often have this like implicit bias just from her appearance that oh yeah, her it's her intelligence, but she can communicate perfectly with the AAC board. So I think it's under like I learned a lot about that, and that was something that surprised me.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because the other thing is like with students that use like an AAC, like you have to realize like they're just like a normal person like what they're
Yeah.
communicating and they can actually be funnier than like you are and like you might not think
Right.
that. And like you don't
Exactly.
know that until you really like give that student or person the time to like show you that and like you listen to them and like hear them.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.